Maturity isn't just about growing older, it's about growing up in the truest sense. It's about wisdom, awareness, and reclaiming something you once had but lost along the way. Your innocence. Now, that might sound strange. We often think of innocence as something for children, something fragile, something naive. But true innocence, the kind that comes with maturity, is different. It's not the ignorance of a child. It's the clarity of a person who has seen the world for what it is and has chosen not to be corrupted by it. Think about it. Every child enters this world with purity, wonder, and a natural connection to life itself. They don't worry about success or failure. They don't question whether they deserve love. They don't hesitate to express joy, curiosity, or even sadness. They just exist, fully present, fully alive. But then society steps in. Culture, tradition, the system. It all begins shaping that child, and not necessarily for their benefit. Every institution has an agenda. Schools train kids to obey, not to think. Religions teach children what to believe, not how to discover truth. Governments mold young minds to fit into their version of order. The whole system thrives on conditioning people from an early age, making sure they follow the rules, fit the mold, and never ask too many questions. Now, I'm not saying structure is bad. We all need guidance, discipline, and education. But here's the key difference. Maturity isn't about blindly following. It's about consciously choosing. It's about understanding the game and then deciding how you want to play it. The real problem isn't that children learn from society. It's that most people never unlearn what they've been told. They never take a step back and ask, is this really my truth? Or is this just something I was taught? That's why most people lose something priceless as they grow up. They lose their connection to life, to their own heart. They get caught up in the expectations, the pressures, the noise of the world, and in the process, they forget how to listen to themselves. They trade in their sense of wonder for a sense of duty. They swap curiosity for certainty. They give up their dreams in exchange for security. And before they know it, they're living someone else's script, following someone else's path, never questioning whether they really chose it. Have you ever met someone who seems to be sleepwalking through life? They go to work, come home, scroll through their phone, watch TV, and repeat the cycle, day after day. No spark, no fire, no passion. Why? Because they've forgotten who they really are. They've lost their inner child, their sense of joy and excitement. They've been conditioned to believe that life is about responsibilities, not about discovery. That it's about doing what's expected, not about following your heart. But here's where maturity comes in. Real maturity isn't just about accumulating knowledge. It's about gaining wisdom. And wisdom doesn't come from memorizing facts. It comes from experience, from reflection, from awareness. It's about waking up to the reality that you don't have to be what society tells you to be. You don't have to follow the script. You can rewrite it. The first step, reclaiming your lost innocence. But here's the difference. This time, it's with awareness. A child's innocence is passive. It's untested, unchallenged. But when you reclaim it as an adult, you do so with understanding. You've seen the world. You know the traps. You recognize manipulation. And because of that, you become incorruptible. Now, instead of being shaped by the system, you shape yourself. Instead of being told what to think, you learn how to think. Instead of living in fear, you choose to live in freedom. And that's what true maturity is. It's the ultimate freedom. Not just freedom from external rules, but freedom from internal limitations. Freedom from self-doubt, from fear, from the need to fit in. Maturity means seeing life with fresh eyes again, but this time with wisdom in your heart. It means understanding that the mind is a tool. You can use it, but it should never control you. The real power lies in something deeper, in your heart, your being, your presence. So how do you reclaim your innocence? How do you free yourself from the conditioning of society? It starts with awareness. It starts with questioning everything you've been told and seeing whether it truly aligns with who you are. It starts with reconnecting with what brings you joy, with what makes you feel alive. Look at children. They dance when they hear music. They laugh when they feel happy. They cry when they feel sad. They express themselves freely. Now, imagine an adult doing the same thing. Dancing in public, laughing loudly, expressing emotions without hesitation. Society would call them childish, immature. But is that really immaturity? Or is it just someone who has reclaimed their freedom? Jesus had it right when he said, "Unless you are born again, you will not enter the kingdom of God." That wasn't just a religious statement. It was a truth about life itself. You have to start over, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You have to unlearn, to rediscover, to come back to yourself. And the beautiful part? It's never too late to do that. No matter how much conditioning you've received, no matter how lost you felt, you can always find your way back. Imagine a fish in the ocean. It doesn't even know it's in the water until you pull it out and throw it onto the sand. Suddenly, it understands. Water isn't just something it swims in. It's life itself. And when it leaps back into the ocean, it doesn't just return. It returns with awareness, with gratitude, with a new understanding of what it means to be alive. That's what maturity is. It's not just about returning to innocence. It's about returning with wisdom. But here's the hard truth. Most people never do this. Everyone loses their innocence, but only a few reclaim it. That's why there are so few truly free people in the world. That's why we look at someone like Jesus, Buddha, or any great enlightened soul and think they're special. But here's the secret. They're not special. They just woke up. They just made the choice to break free. And you can too. It starts the moment you realize that fitting in isn't the goal. Becoming yourself is. That happiness doesn't come from following the rules. It comes from following your truth. That success isn't about climbing society's ladder. It's about building your own. And when that realization hits, everything changes. You stop looking for approval because you approve of yourself. You stop chasing happiness because you realize it's already within you. You stop fearing failure because you understand that every fall is just a step toward growth. That's maturity. That's true freedom. And when you reach it, you won't just be alive. You'll be living. And my friend, if you feel yourself in it, let us know in the comments section. Together, we will create a better life.